Right. The answer is right behind you. I had a feeling that was going to come up. And I don't think there's any coincidence, especially considering that the Ten of Swords, Ten of Wands comes up. You are carrying a burden, and that burden is the thing that you're not maybe noticing is in your way. Or not in your way, but is causing a lot of the dilemma. Because the Four of Cups to me is apathy, no longer in interest, no longer have interest in some sort of direction, some sort of offer, some sort of situation. It could be that you're emotionally stuck, as I usually say. Like you just kind of feel like you can't move. Some of you guys, this is pertaining to a relationship in which it had plateaued, and now you're trying to figure out what else to do. But what can be done about the relationship? What else? What other things can you spice up that may not be in the toolkit of pre-existing exercises? So it's going to require you to look at what you want to feel. What do you want to feel? And I feel like the bigger question isn't necessarily what do you want to feel, but like how can you have it without the burden of something else? Or rather, like how can you want what you want without having to feel the part of it, if that makes sense. And it's all simply to focus on what you want to feel. No, the burden is having the other stuff piled on with it. Like in order for you to be happy, you have to do X, Y, and Z. In order for you to do this, you have to do X, Y, and Z. And I feel like with the Four of Cups, it's like that's kind of what it looks like. It's like in order for you to reach for that cup that's being offered to you, you have to jump through hoops. You have to do your hair. You have to put on makeup. You have to put on a suit and tie. You have to ask the person first. Like there's certain things that may be creating rules in your life that may not necessarily be it's not something that you need to do. And I feel like you're realizing that you don't need to do those things, which is why that Hermit energy is coming up, right? You're like, nah, I don't honestly feel like I need to do extra stuff to have what I want to have, what I feel I deserve to have. But it's not necessarily about knowing that, it's believing it. Like, yes, knowing and believing, they can be two different. They can be seen as very similar, but I find them as two different things. What things that you know, right? There's no need to believe it. But you can always know something, but if you don't believe it, it still doesn't have an impact in my eyes. So I feel like it's about believing that you can do whatever you want to do and still be good, but you have to believe it first. So heart of the reading is the Hangman. So I kind of feel like with a lot of you guys, you're trying to figure out or trying to understand something from a different perspective. Perhaps a perspective because you've run out of options here. Like you've just run out of options. So you're looking, you're open, you're releasing any ties to certain ways of doing things, and you're open, truly open to seeing something different. And I feel like it presented itself to you in the past here as the Tower. Something crazy happened, something unexpected. It could be that this is the start of what has gotten you on this journey of seeing something differently. But the Tower to me is definitely some sort of world-shattering, situation-altering or life-altering change. And it could have been you, or could have been someone else. It could be anything, but it ultimately altered your life. And I feel like this is what brought on this need for justice, this desire to get things straightened out, because you've noticed all the work that you've been doing, and you've noticed also that you haven't really been feeling something, or you haven't been getting something back from it. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this change, this break was the epitome or the final straw to whatever was unruly, or whatever wasn't fair. Because right now, justice is focusing on what is fair, what is right, what is balanced. And this is not necessarily talking about a karmic debt. I do feel like this has to do with, the dynamic of a relationship. Some of you guys may be seeing a Libra. Okay, some of you guys may be seeing a Libra at this point. But I kind of feel like with justice too, like it could have been that you guys are recently getting married, or you guys are getting a divorce. It can sometimes indicate, but I don't really see divorce energy. There's no energy of divorce in my eyes. Some of you guys, it may be a divorce, so you could finally live the life that you want to live and be free. Maybe the conclusion is that maybe this person isn't really yours, or rather isn't right for you. but this is based off of determining from your own perspective or in your own best interest. Maybe you have realized that this person, as good as they are, you're still doing work that doesn't feel like it's, a good reciprocal, give and take. And some of you guys may be considering divorce, maybe considering finding yourself, doing your own thing, kind of branching out and being uncommitted now. Some of you guys, it has nothing to do with divorces or breaking up. It's just literally the dynamic could be better. And it could be that maybe you've hit a wall or something happened where it reminded you that, hey, maybe you're working too much, or maybe there's a lot of emphasis on work and there's not a lot of time to be romantic and have fun and play and enjoy your life. So there may be a lot of things coming up for you guys in regards to that balancing. Is if this personal, is this relationship wise for you guys? Give us another card for justice so we can understand what's happening here. Please give us another card for justice. See what's going on. The Five of Wands. Conflicts, arguments. It can be an intense change that you're going through, but you're doing this for your better good. Like whatever you're doing, you're willing to do it because you're not satisfied and you want to be happy. Anybody wants to be happy. So I completely get it. But there's conflict here. There is conflict. What is this conflict? The Ten of Pentacles. What happiness looks like. Okay, so commitment. So you guys are definitely torn about what happiness or what forever, happily ever after looks like. And I feel like maybe this has to do with your financial goals. This has to do with maybe the relationship that you have. Can you see this actually making, creating a legacy? Do you perhaps have a business that you would like to carry down at some point? Or perhaps you are involved in a business and you're trying to understand what needs to flow, what needs to click, what needs to work in order for things to be as carefree as it can be, or for you to be as carefree as it can be. I feel like with the Ten of Coins, though, this has to do with relationships for sure. With relationships with yourself, with your work, with your partner, with your family. This commitment is ultimately perhaps what you're struggling with. Because maybe there are people around you, or maybe people that are close to you in your circle. Maybe they're complaining that you're not spending enough time with them. Or maybe they're, they don't quite understand the work that you have to do or how much you have on your plate. And nobody bothers to offer that help. Nobody bothers to extend that love or extend that support to you. They just look at you and say, we want to spend time with you. And you're like, well, I have things I have to do. There's people I have to be responsible for. There's things I have going on that I can't just set aside for you. And as much as you would love to help out or be a part of people's life, you have so lot to deal with. And therefore, you feel like you're not interested in dealing with anything or anyone, because not only are you feeling like you're doing everything alone, but on top of that, you're not feeling like you get the support from people that you need to be able to even have all these requests fulfilled. So, and for some of you guys, it may be that your life right now, it feels like your work is taking over and you don't have a lot of time to do the things that you truly want to do with the people that you love. And right now, it's all about figuring out what you can do in the meantime. Is your attention to something a bit more obsessive than it needs to be, so that way you can actually have more time to spend with other people and no longer, and let that other stuff, give it time to do what it needs to do. Sometimes it's like that too. But, of course, these are different scenarios that may resonate with some people. That particular story may not resonate with you. But for some of you guys, it may be that you're so hardcore focused on the Ten of Coins that perhaps it's leaving a lot of upset in your life. And maybe the Ten of Coins is already succeeded. It's already there. And it doesn't quite need as much work as it used to. Not saying that it doesn't need you anymore, but more of like it doesn't need as much care or much time and much effort anymore, because you've completed what needed to be done for the moment and there's nothing quite left to do. So you have a lot of time on your hands now. So it may feel like right now you're trying to figure out how to fill the void, how to fill the space. You know what I mean? And it may be to do with, freeing up your time and enjoying it to some degree. Notice recognizing that you have time and space to be able to enjoy your life. Or perhaps letting go of a certain lifestyle, a certain way you're living your lifestyle, or a certain way you're handling situations, so that way you can be happy. So you can enjoy the people that you love. So you can spend more time with the people that you truly want to spend time with, instead of filling it in with things that you may feel like you have to have. I feel like I'm going to actually pull for the Ten of Wands. Why is the Ten of Wands coming up as the best path to follow for Pisces? And then some of you guys, like, the best path to follow, again, or the advice, is really just telling you what you already know. Like, the situation, the amount of work on your plate, it's quite a bit. So let's see, how can Pisces relieve the amount of work from the Ten of Wands? How can Pisces relieve themselves of the burden? Wow, the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, family. So the Three of Swords is how you can relieve yourself of the burden. And that's a hard one. The Three of Swords usually indicates that there is maybe a part of ourselves that needs healing, that needs love, that needs space to heal. The acknowledgement of something wrong or something not quite making you feel that great. The way that you relieve the burden is acknowledging what it isn't making you happy, what hasn't made you happy, or what has continued to make your life harder to enjoy. So if you've been dealing with something or going through something, and you may have been like picking up other things to kind of ignore it, it's not going to go away until you've acknowledged it and embraced it fully. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, that's what's been going on. The reason why you can't either see see that fourth cup dangling in the sky, the reason why you're hanging upside down, isn't because you're missing something. It's because what you need, what the answer is right in front of you, and it's kind of tacked on or hidden behind certain things, or it's unrecognizable because it's been masked by other things. You've been using this energy, this pain, in very big constructive ways, Pisces. You've been doing great things with this, but now, in order for you to be happy, it's not, no matter how much work you do, no matter how much you pick up, this isn't going to go away until you are looking at it straight in the face. And not necessarily seeing it as what it is, just pain, but seeing how it can fulfill your life and bring it more enriching experiences. How can living through a difficult experience give you a more enriching and loving life? Well, it's because I feel like with the Ten of Wands, right, with so much going on, you can't really tend to your body the way that you need to. When you're carrying all those wands, your body is in a really weird, awkward position where they're holding on to all these wands, and he's like trying to carry all this stuff on his own. And on top of that, he's hunched over, he's carrying them in a very odd fashion. So he's not quite able to be as efficient with carrying the items that he's trying to carry. Because he's not taking care of his body in the way that he should. So I feel like the situation may be that how you've been managing the pain, although very constructive, has left it kind of healed over the wound. Like the weapons or the spears or the swords through this heart, they just kind of healed over it. So it's been on hold. It's still not necessarily properly healed, but you used it to create a utopia, and you have started it. You've already gone through it. You're very close to being finished here. So now it's about the feeling factor. The cards I'm missing in all this is Cups energy. I'm not getting a lick of Cups of energy except for here in the underlying energy. And I feel like that's what's missing, is your emotion, is your feeling, is feeling good about where you are and acknowledging how far you've come. not from a place of, ooh, I still needed to do this. There's not much. I mean, there's still so much work I need to do to get this, but to appreciate the work that you've gone through so far, so you can be the Knight of Wands, so you can be happy, so you can have fun and actually feel carefree. Now, your hopes and fears as the Emperor. I don't think that you guys want to be intimidating. I don't feel like you guys want to be kind of cold and calculating. Like, I feel like the demeanor that you may have right now is very boss-like, very authoritarian, and very stern, and very not impatient, but it's very Saturnian, which is very fatherly, very stern, and firm. So I feel like perhaps you don't want to be this way anymore. You want to be more loose. You want to have more fun. If this is what the future looks like, I feel like that's where you guys want to go. You always want to have more fun. You want to enjoy your life. You don't want to be someone that's stiff and tough and because they have so much to deal with. Like, he's like that because he's got an entire kingdom to take care of, an empire to rule. That's not gonna make you the most fun-loving, go-lucky person, because there's so much on his plate, and it looks like that's exactly what you look like. You guys, I mean, in a way, you guys feel like you've turned into Darth Vader. You know what I mean? Or Count Dooku, or whatever. Like, you guys feel like them, and you don't. That's not who you are. And I feel like that's what you're noticing. Like, how did you get here? Why did you get here? What do I need to learn from this experience? And it's that pain can also not only be a constructive outlet, but it can also be the keys to happiness. They can provide you the keys to happiness rather than them being the keys to happiness. They can provide you with the keys of happiness, because it's not the pain that's giving you the keys. It's you exploring self-love through that pain, through healing, through taking care of yourself, to loving yourself through and through. So relationships with people, with your partner, with your friends, with your family, they will all enrich and get better, because you love yourself and you've treated yourself so much better than you have been. Not that I'm saying that you've been treating yourself bad, but that you've just been putting on a lot on yourself, and therefore maybe not have had time to give yourself, love. So the Five of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, you're fighting for a really, really good future, but it's already in the works. You're already in the process of doing it. So there's not much more work needing to be done, other than to balance the other parts of your life that really need it. So your outcome is the Page of Wands. And I love this card for you, because this to me tells me that you guys maybe start seeking out fun, start letting that free time that's in your life now, because you guys it looks like with the Four of Cups, you're just sitting there thinking. You're just sitting there looking at your emotions, looking at all the experiences that you've gone through and thinking, damn, I'm not really interested in doing anything. But I feel like with the stuff that maybe you take the time that you have now, if you have that free time and you start to acknowledge what you're feeling, whatever this is, like, whatever this is, or start healing it and start imagining and dreaming again, the fun will follow. The fun will follow. Such a big message for Pisces. Such a big message for y'all. So let's see what you guys get with the Messenger Oracle. Any card that comes out. Wash away your burdens. Aquarius got this. Wash away your burdens, family. And that means that allow yourself to just cry this out. It's time to feel it. Wash away your burdens. Your burdens are here because you're holding on to this. Not on purpose, unintentionally, truly, perhaps. And it's mainly because maybe we felt like we were not ready to actually look at this and forgive it. But it's time to. And the reason why it's time to is because you want something more out of your life. You desire and you feel you deserve more. And I will never ever tell you that you deserve less. You deserve exactly what you want. Happiness is, of course, the utmost thing. And I feel like everybody should have it. And you can have it. You deserve to have it. But the pathway to getting there is by letting yourself feel it. Feel again. And unfortunately, this is there first. But that unfortunately is unfortunate, because it's going to show you a part of yourself that you probably never noticed. Or part of yourself that you've missed. But in order for this in order for you to have that happiness, wash away your burdens. It's time to cry. It's time to feel this. It's time to acknowledge this. It's time to make peace with this. Again, not because you weren't trying to, not because you were trying to avoid it. You're trying to protect yourself. And that's normal. That is so normal. I can't even tell you. I can't even begin to explain to you how normal that is. And through that protection, you've created an outlet. You've created a beautiful home, a beautiful family, a beautiful world where people will and always will have your back. It's time to trust that. Trust your environment that you've created. Trust yourself that you created an environment stable enough to handle going through something really difficult to go through, so you can be as happy as you can. So let's take a look at the wisdom of the oracle here too. Dang, no place like home. You get all the good cards today. Look at that. No place like home. And you, like, literally what I was just saying is that you have a world in yourself that needs tender love and care. And that tender love and care may have been, not necessarily the priority necessarily, because you've been using what has made your home hard to live in a utopia. You've rebuilt it, you've restructured it, you've created a whole new layout for your house. But now it's time to live in it. Now it's time to live in it. And that's okay. And it's exciting, and it's enriching, and it's beautiful. But of course, when you walk in, you're going to be reminded of your old house. You're going to be reminded of your old house and how things used to be. But that's not like that no more. You're not like that no more. That whole life is gone. You get to create a brand new one now. Full of love, full of life, full of experiences that enrich you and make you feel whole. But only you can do that. Only you can walk into your house and claim it as yours and make it whatever you want it to be. Again, it's not about knowing, because I believe you guys know this. It's about believing. And it's very weird for Virgo season, because Virgo season works on facts, works on what's there, what's real. This is real. Even though we're in Virgo season, the emotional aspect of us, the thing that Virgo is trying to tell us is that the emotional portion of our lives is real too. It doesn't have to physically, or it doesn't have to feel like it. No matter how much we manifest or create a house that's like maybe has 3 wings and it's a mansion and have several different cars and is rich and wealthy, those things are not representations of our happiness. Virgo says that always. Nothing that we buy, that we have in our physical world, will truly represent what makes us happy. We are the physical manifestation of our love and happiness. And the only way we can express that is by living in our truth and living in who we are and being ourselves, regardless of what the situation or the environment is. And that's usually very hard. Especially considering that it was pretty much requiring us to unlearn everything that we've learned growing up. But it's possible. And it starts by going home. The Hermit card.